Hello everyone, welcome to your session. As you all know that your UGC exam is near approaching and you all must be working really hard because all of you have dreamt of clearing this exam and definitely uh, when I see your preparation, when I see you all preparing, right, I feel that there is no doubt that you will not clear this exam. I believe that all of you are going to clear the exams, right, and with some very high scores. So in order to help you in your preparation, sir, today I am here to discuss some of the previous year questions, right. I have brought you this session, the last lab, where I will be discussing some previous year questions with you on mathematical reasoning, right. So now what we are going to do in this session, I'm going to show you the question. I'm going to wait for a few seconds so that you can try that question at your end. Then I'll show you the answer. And somewhat if you were unable to solve the question or your answer somehow got wrong, right, you can see the solution, you can see the approach and make corrections over there. All right. So let's start with the first question of today's session. It is a number series question. See the question and I have already discussed all the concepts of number series with you. Try to apply the concept and you can see that no question is going to go outside those concepts. All right. So I guess by now you must have solved this question. This was an easy question, right? Let me show you the answer. The answer was option B. And if someone was unable to solve this question, see how you should have approached this question. Now, as you see this question, that this question, this series is not going to be of geometric nature because 2 and 5 are prime numbers and 5 is a prime number, 5 is not multiple of 2, so it will not be a geometric series. 9 is not a prime number, so this is not a prime number series, right. Then this is not a perfect cube or perfect square series, so it is not self-generated, not even it is nearer to perfect cube plus n or perfect cube minus n or perfect square plus n perfect square minus n. No term is near to that also, so this is not self-generated. Only 3 series are left out: arithmetic, arithmetical, geometrical, and mixed. Now let's see. As I move from left to right, I see my series is of increasing order. As I move from left to right, I can see that series is of increasing nature, right? The terms are getting increased. So in order to make 5 from 2, right, since 2 and 5 are prime numbers, right, let's see whether the series is of arithmetic nature. Here the gap would be 3, here the gap is 4, but here the gap is 10. So the gap is not making a logical sense. 3, 4, then 10. Suddenly it got increased with a big margin. So when I told you the concept of arithmetic, I always told you the factors should form a logical sense. The factors should always increase or decrease in some logical order. Then only you can decide the next factor. Otherwise, you cannot decide the next factor. So this series is not of arithmetic nature. Then it could have been of arithmetic or geometrical nature. Now, in order to find the factors, if my series is of arithmetic or geometrical nature, in order to find factors over there, right, you say that the factors behave, right, simultaneously. The factors behave simultaneously. That means with multiplication, certain addition or subtraction factor is always going to be involved. So the nearest multiple of 2, right, the nearest multiple of 2 to 5 would be into 2 plus 1, 4. That is 2 into 2, 4 plus 1 would be 5. Now nearest multiple of 5 to 9 would be 10. So 5 into 2, 10, minus 1 is 9. Now see here, the first factor was into 2 plus 1. The next factor was into 2 minus 1. Now here it is into 2 plus 1. 9 2s are 18 plus 1, it is 90. Then the next factor is into 2 minus 1. 19 2s are 38 minus 1 is 37. Then my next factor should be into 2 plus 1. 37 into 2, 74 plus 1, 75. And this would be all right. Let's move to the next question. So this is a question on coding decoding, right? As I told you, in order to solve any coding decoding question, you need your ABCD and the fixed format of writing ABCD. The first 13 letters should be written left to right, and the next 13 letters should be written right to left, starting below from. Now, as you can see, there is one word and its code is given, and the code for the second word is being asked. So, sir, this is a type 1 question, right? So, I have already told you how to solve type 1 question. The correct answer was B. So, let's see how would I reach to that answer. So, in order to solve this question, first write the letters of your word Mathura, Mathura, and just below the letters of your word write the letters of your code, which is J, X, Q, E, R, O. Correct. Now, once you have written the letters of your code just below the letters of your word, see, in your word the number of letters were 7. In your code the number of letters are 7. That means for each letter of my word, one letter code was given. For each letter of my word, one letter code was given, right? So now, using the same concept, I have to find the code for hotel. So let's find the logic, let's find the gap between the letters. Let's say, for an example, for letter M, if J was given the code, for letter M, if J was given the code, from M to J, what would be the logic? 1, 2, 3, it will be 3 letters backward, so the gap would be minus 3. I'm moving in reverse order from M to J. If I'm moving from M to J, I'm moving in anti-clockwise order. So the gap would be 1, 2, 3 minus 3, because in anti-clockwise, when moving in anti-clockwise order, we take the gap as negative gap. So for A, its code is X, and from A to X, if I see 1, 2, 3, I'm moving in anti-clockwise order, right, at a gap of 3 letters. So my gap would be minus 3. My gap would be minus. For T, suppose if the code was Q, for T if the code was Q, from T to Q, 1, 2, 3, right, at a gap of minus 3, at a gap of minus 3, right. Then for H, the code is E, right. For H, the code is E. Now, when you move from H to E, you can see that 1, 2, 3, it is at a gap of minus 3. It is a gap of minus 3, right. For U, the code is R. For U, the code is R, and from U to R, 1, 2, 3. You are moving in anti-clockwise sequence, so the code is minus 3. For R, the code is O. For R, the code is O, and when you move from one letter to the other letter, you can see that you are at a gap of minus 3. And from A, the code is X. For A, the code is X, 1, 2, 3, 3 letters anti-clockwise. It is at a gap of minus 3, right. Now here also we will be moving at a gap of -3. Here also we will be moving at a gap of -3. So for H at a gap of -3, my code would be E. For O at a gap of -3, 1, 2, 3, the code will be L. For T at a gap of -3, 1, 2, 3, Q. For E at a gap of -3, the code would be B. For L at a gap of -3, 1, 2, 3, it would be I. For S at a gap of -3, 1, 2, 3, it would be P. So my answer would be ELQ BIP. ELQ BIP. Right. So that was your answer, option B. Every letter was at a gap of -3. Now this is a question on blood relation. A girl introduced a boy as the son of the daughter of the father of her uncle. The boy is related to the girl as all this. Now this is a type 1 question, or I would say this is an indirect relation question, right? Because as I told you in the class itself, if the indirect relation question is going to be asked, right, the question is always going to start with the keyword introducing or pointing. Here a girl introduced a boy as the. Now see, my relation starts with keyword the. When I was teaching you the concept, I told you clearly that if your relation starts with he or she keyword, how you should draw your generation chart, your family tree. And if your relation starts with any word, any other keyword apart from he and she, any other keyword like the, this, that, his, her, from one of those keywords, if your relation starts, then how you should draw your family tree. I have told you the concept in complete detail. So now as I can see here, my relation starts with the son. Now the is always going to point towards the person who was introduced. The always points towards the person who was introduced. Here boy was introduced. So now the boy is the son, right? The boy is the son. So now this boy is somebody's son. Obviously he's a boy, so he would be son. Son of the daughter. So this boy is somebody's son, right? And this boy is, let's say this boy is X's son. This boy is X's son, because my question is saying the boy is the son, right? The son of, introduce the boy as the son of. So this boy is somebody's son. I'm saying that this boy is son of X, and this boy is the son of the daughter. So this X is somebody's daughter. That means X is going to be female. So X is somebody's daughter. I will call that person as Y. So X is daughter of Y, right? Now the boy is the son of the daughter of the father. Of the father. So this daughter, right, this X is daughter of the father. That means this X is daughter of a male. That means Y would be male, because as I said that this X is daughter of Y, and the Y would be the father. That means male, right? So gender of Y would be male. Father of her uncle, right? Father of her uncle. Now this all right, this is father of her uncle, right? Daughter of the father of her uncle. So fine, we can call that as, so let's say that X is daughter of Y, right? X is daughter of Y, right? Now it is said that this Y, right, this X is actually the son of the daughter of the father of her uncle. So now let's say this X is daughter of Y. I'm calling that Y as male because the Y is going to be father of her uncle. Now this her keyword is actually used for this girl. This her keyword is actually used for this girl. So for this girl's uncle, right? She is daughter of this girl's uncle, father of her uncle, right? Father of her uncle. So now can I call that uncle as Y? So my question was here, how is the boy related to the girl? Shown you the answer, right? It would be brother, because it is but natural that father of her uncle, let's call her uncle as Z, because this would be father of her uncle. And now if this girl is X's daughter, then B and the girl are going to be brother sister. So boy is related to the girl as brother, right? Because the girl is saying that this boy is son of, let's say, X, son of the daughter. So this X is going to be daughter of the father. So this X is going to be some father's daughter. That means Y is going to be male, right? And now this father of her uncle, right? This Y is father of girl's uncle. So now father is this girl, uncle's father. Uncle's father is grandfather. So with respect to girl, Y is grandfather. And grandfather should be 2 generations above. That means girl should be 2 generations below. Why I have drawn this girl over here? Because sir, why is this girl's uncle's father? Uncle's father is grandfather. That means Y is going to be grandfather of this girl. And grandfather should be 2 generations above to the girl. That means girl should be 2 generations below to Y. Correct? So that is why I have drawn girl over here. So now as you can see, girl and boy share the same parent, right? Girl, this boy is going to be brother of this girl. All right. So now my next question is this. We have another term here. A letter series is given to me. I have to find the next term. So find the answer. And for this, I need my ABCD. This is a simple question. I don't think that you will require, right, your options over here, right? You will, but I'll show you the answer. It is option A. Now, when you move from first letter to the first letter, right, from A to E, the gap is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 letters. So the gap would be +4 because we are moving in clockwise sequence. When you move from E to I, so the gap is 1, 2, 3, 4, +4. And when you move from I to N, sir, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From I to N, the gap is +5. From I to N, the gap is +5. All right. So it was +4, +4, +5. Now let's say if my next gap was also +5, because after keeping the gap constant for 2 places, I am changing the gap. Let's say from N at a +5 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My option should have started with S, right? My option should have started with S, right? But the answer is A, but still, all right, fine, because in my exam I would not know what should have been my answer, right? So now it would be S, and then from B to D, if I see the gap between B to D, 1, 2, it is a gap of +2, right? From D to H, 1, 2, 3, 4, the gap got doubled. From S to M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the gap is now not making any sense. From 2, the next gap was 4, now the gap is plus 5. So this particular series is not making any sense right now. The gap is not making any sense. So I will say that here, this would not be my answer, right? This cannot be my answer. So now I have to change my logic. What other logic I can apply? Let's see. Let me undo this for you. All right. So now what other logic can we apply? See, A, B, E, D, right? I'm moving one letter forward. A to B, the gap is plus 1. From E to D, the gap is minus 1. I told you this concept also in letter series. From I to H, the gap is minus 1. See, from I to H, the gap is minus 1, right? Then from N to M, the gap is minus 1. So now it should be T2S. The gap should be T2S, because for the first term the gap was plus 1. Moving from first letter to the second letter, the gap was plus 1. For all the remaining terms, the gap was minus 1. So now it should be TNS. Option A would be the correct answer. TNS. Right, from T to S, the gap would be minus 1. All right. Try this one. This is a coding decoding question. Famous is coded as UVTGALDQR. The knowledge will be coded as I'll wait for a few seconds. All right, I guess by now you would have solved the question. The correct answer was option B. Let's see. A word is given, its code is given. So we are going to write the letters of the word just below the letters of the we are going to write the letters of the code just below the letters of the word. UVTGALDQR. Right, for S at a plus 2 gap, it is U. For T at a plus 2 gap, it is V. For R at a plus 2 gap, it is T. For E at a plus 2 gap, it is G. For A, there is no gap, so it will be 0. For M, it is L at a minus 1 gap. For E, it was D at a minus 1 gap. So now you can see that the word was broken. The word was broken into 3 parts. I told you this concept in class, right? I told you that this concept in class, that whenever there is a gap of 0 coming in between, the word is getting broken, right? For R, it is Q at a minus 1 gap. For S, it is R at a minus 1 gap. Now you have to find the code for the word knowledge. I'm writing it small, right, because we need some space, right? The letters are more. So for K at a plus 2 gap, it would be M. For N at a plus 2 gap, it would be P, and MP, only one option supports that. Then you can see for O at a plus 2 gap, it would be Q. For W at a plus 2 gap, Y. L would be constant. E at a minus 1 gap, D. Then from D at a minus 1 gap, C. From G at a minus 1 gap, F. And from E at a minus 1 gap, D. right? So DCFT MPQYL, right? That would be the answer. Good question. So this one, A is brother of B, B is brother of C, C is the husband of D, E is the father of A, D is related to E as. Alright, I guess by now you would have got to the answer. The correct answer was option B, daughter-in-law. Right. Let's see. A is brother of B. Or A is brother of B. That means A and B are on the same generation, and since A is the brother, A gender of A would be male, gender of B it is unknown. Next line it says B is brother of C. If B is brother of C, so gender of B would be male, and B and C are going to be on the same generation, gender of C it is unknown. C is the husband of D. If C is husband of D, that means gender of C would be male, and C and D are going to be on the same generation. They will be declared as married couple, where D would be the wife. So gender of D would be female. E is the father of A. If E is father of A and E, B, C are siblings, that means E is father of all three, A, B and C. Right? A, B and C are siblings. That means, and E is their father. That means E is also father of B and C. Now, D is related to E as. How is D related to E? So for E, D is going to be wife of son, right? Son's wife. D is going to be E's son's wife, and son's wife is called daughter-in-law. So how is D related to E? So D is going to be E's son's wife. That means daughter-in-law. All right. So try this question. Given below is a diagram of three circles A, B and C overlapping each other. The circle A represents the class of honest people. So these are honest people. The circle B represents the class of sincere people. So these are sincere people. And C represents class of politicians. Alright. Class of politicians. P, Q, R, S, U, X and Y represent different regions. Okay. Select the code that represents the region indicating the class of honest politicians. Select the code that represents the region indicating class of honest politicians who are not sincere. So you have to find honest politicians who are not sincere. Try them. You have to select which region is going to represent that. Right, I guess by now you would have got to the answer. Here the correct answer was option D. The correct answer was option D. Now let's see how many of you correct, and if someone was wrong, where exactly he went wrong. So honest politician. So this is the circle who represent honest people. So any value which is outside this circle, is not going to be my answer. So X will be discarded, Q will be discarded, Y will be discarded. And this right side bottom circle is representing politicians, right? So I need honest people as well as politicians. So any value which is outside this circle is not going to be my answer. So R and U are discarded. Now, who are not sincere, that means I do not want sincere people. So any value which is written in this left side bottom circle is not going to be my answer, because this left side bottom circle represents sincere people and I don't want sincere people as per my question. So only variable left out is S. So D would be the correct answer. Only variable left out was S. So D would be the correct answer, because I wanted honest politicians who were not sincere. So any value which was written out inside this circle, because all these people are sincere people and I don't want sincere people, so this is going to be discarded. Right now you are going to be left out with these values. You don't you want honest people and politician, right? So any value which is outside this circle will be discarded, and any value which is outside this circle is going to be discarded. So you will be left out with only S. You can approach this question as if in this way also. So here in this particular session I have taken some previous year questions, and I hope by solving these questions you must be able to got a fair idea that how well is your preparation, and if you have some weak points, right? If you have if you were unable to solve some of the questions or any question, right, where you should focus, right, and how you should improve them. So I'll keep today's session till here, right? In the next session I'll meet you again with some new questions, new concepts, right, and we will solve some good questions in that session also. So thank you so much for watching this session. Keep learning, keep smiling.